My name is Danny Harris. Some of you may already know me, apparently. Either from the 6 years I worked at the youth program as an outreach worker, or from substituting in all the elementary schools and even here at the high school throughout the city. Some of you may even know that I have aspirations of becoming a full-time teacher here at the high school in the very near future. I only give you this quick biography of who I am now as an introduction to a story of who I was growing up. I grew up right here in Somerville, went to this high school, right in this building, walked the same halls, ate the same lunch food, had some of the same teachers that many of you have right now. I also faced the same problems that all of you have faced, are facing, and will face as a teenager growing up in this city or any other urban-oriented community. Drugs, overdose, suicide, violence, peer pressure, and even killings. Not only am I no stranger to any of these things, but I've had the unfortunate experience of encountering most of them firsthand. I was a smart kid who, for a very long and misguided time during my teenage years, made a lot of wrong decisions. Decisions that I'm not proud of, but decisions that I will always own up to and never forget. I was a very angry teenager, as my parents, many of my teachers, as well as the seemingly endless amount of people who I've hurt, both emotionally and physically over the years, can attest to. At just 5'6", 130 pounds, believe it or not, I had the reputation as one of the toughest kids in this school. Violence was part of my daily routine in one form or another. I fought in school, in front of school, at parks, in the street, one-on-one, groups, you name it. And I was good at it too. I truly believed at the time, like most teenagers do, that I was invincible. And that even if by some chance someone did get the best of me in a fight, I didn't care. I felt like I had nothing to lose, and if I was gonna go out of this world, I was gonna go out swinging. Unfortunately, that was my mentality for a very long time. Now you may be able to see that I've done almost a complete 180 in personality and beliefs from then till now, and it was a very long and difficult journey for me to do so. They say you need to hit rock bottom before you realize you're on the wrong path and that you can finally do something about it. For me, rock bottom came from a combination of things. Constantly being in and out of the emergency room for broken noses, cheekbone, broken eye socket, stitches, and concussions. Being arrested for assault and almost ruining my chances at the kind of life that I have today. Attending 6 funeral and wake services before the age of 23. Elliot, Victor, Dave, Danny, James, and Nikki. Kids who I played Little League with, Pop Warner with, had class with, sat at the same lunch table with, none of whom made it to their 23rd birthday. Half of whom didn't even make it out of this high school. All of these things combined were rock bottom for me. And in it, a realization that I, in fact, was not invincible, and that nobody is. Around the same time all this realization was happening, a very special person came into my life. The birth of my niece, Alana, gave me a whole new perspective on life. It made me realize that I was not the only person affected by the decisions I made. In fact, the people who were affected most by my decisions were the people who were closest to me, my friends and family. And me being her biological uncle and godfather, it was inevitable that one day Alana too would be affected by the decisions that I make. I'm proud to say that since then I've tried my best to make the right decisions, if not for me, but for her and my friends and family. I know that it's tough to make the difficult choices that teenage life demands of you. And if you're anything like I was, and most people are, when you're a teenager getting angry and lashing out, it seems like the only thing you're capable of doing. Just know that today there are so many different outlets for you as youth where you can express your emotions, frustrations, anger, and even your urge to use physical force to find some sort of relief for the insanity that the world can throw at you. Places like the Somerville Boxing Club and various mixed martial arts studios can provide the type of outlet that may help those who know nothing other than using violence as a problem solver. There are organizations who pride themselves in being great networking locations to all sorts of platforms for you to let your voice and actions be heard and noticed in a positive way rather than a negative one. Organizations run by people who do care. People like Danny McLaughlin, Marlon, Emily, Craig, and anybody who interacts directly with the youth.
Robert.
There's also someone, if you're here at the high school, who you can always go to, and it's someone who I still use to this day and will always use as a shoulder or a crutch, if you will. Many of you may know her as Mrs. Harris, but I know her as Mom. Take advantage of the things that these people and organizations can present to you. We didn't have these places when we were younger. And had we, maybe my life would have been a little easier, and maybe even some of my friends would still be here today. I'll just never know that. But what I do know is that if you make the difficult decisions to better yourself now rather than later, there will be a lot more positive choices and opportunities for you between now and then. One of my favorite quotes is, "No journey worth taking is an easy one." And life is one of those journeys. It will be tough at times, and it's not always going to be a cakewalk. But believe me when I say, it is definitely, definitely worth living. Thank you.